All right, what's going on, everybody? So as we know, there has been a lot of rumors since the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, to say the least, for what's next for Jake Paul. So what I'm going to be doing is reacting to some of the rumors, and then I'll be giving my opinions on what could be next for Jake Paul. But real quick, before I get into the video, 92% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like influencer boxing, or UFC content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you. So we have had a lot of very interesting rumors throughout the various months throughout the beginning of this year. He was supposedly going to fight Canelo Alvarez, and it looked very good until Canelo pulled the rug right under him, which really made him mad, which is kind of funny to see because I don't think anybody really expected to see that fight, so it was really surprising even seeing that it was even talked about at the time. And I do actually think that it will happen sometime down the line, but I don't think it's going to be this year or maybe even the beginning of next year because he has a 3-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh in Riyadh season, so it's not going to happen then. Jake Paul even said they wanted to face Alexander Usyk in MMA, which was very random, and it actually seems that Alexander Usyk and his team is somewhat interested because he replied on Instagram with the eye emojis, adding Jake Paul. So if that were to happen, because I know Jake Paul wants to have a PFL fight in MMA, if it were to be with Alexander Usyk, that would be a massive fight. I actually think that Alexander Usyk does a bit of wrestling and judo in his gym, if I'm not mistaken, or at least his gym does, so he probably does a little bit. So that would be pretty interesting. Obviously, in a boxing match, it would be very bad Jake Paul will get hurt because I think Alexander Usyk is actually the GOAT of boxing. I don't think that's even a hot take or anything like that. But I don't think this is really going to happen because so many things have to fall into place. And Usyk probably has to be retired from boxing, and he's tied up with probably facing Parker. So I don't know about that one, but it definitely is interesting. But Jake Paul definitely seems like he wants to fight in MMA one time this year, and I don't think it's going to be Usyk, but it would be, like, crazy if it happened. And somewhat recently, Jake Paul made one of the most delusional statements that I've ever heard in my life. He was saying that he thinks that he could beat Anthony Joshua. Now, I haven't heard his full statement on this, but it is one thing to say that you could hurt Canelo because of the size difference. He would still get schooled by Canelo, don't get me wrong. He still gets schooled, but Anthony Joshua is a true heavyweight, and you could debate that Jake is a bit of a flabby heavyweight. He's probably a bit more comfortable at cruiserweight, and he isn't like this jacked heavyweight like Anthony Joshua with his natural body weight, basically. It's just a bad idea, but let's hear him out and see if he's cooking, I guess. Let's see what Jake Paul has to say about the Anthony Joshua fight, potentially.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know I will
got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this shit, but I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
And he goes Benavidez at the end. Listen, bro. You know who knocked him out? Daniel Dubois. One of the best heavyweights in the world, dude. You lost to Tommy Fury, and I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy and talk shit about fighters, but you lost to Tommy Fury. In what world are you going to be able to be in the same class as Anthony Joshua, somebody that ran boxing for a very long time and was very dominant for a very long time? Yes, he got chinned by Daniel Dubois, a guy that's built like Frankenstein. Yeah, he got hurt by him because he got hit flush by him by shots that were set up well by a professional boxer. Jake can set up punches. The Tyron Woodley punch was very well set up, but it is not anywhere close to a world level. So him even talking about Anthony Joshua is delusional. And delusion is a great thing for combat sports, but it will get you hurt in a situation like this. Now that I'm done with all the rumors and yip yap, I'll be giving my opinions of what could be next for Jake Paul and why. So the first option, the reason why I'm saying this first is probably because it's the most, like, obvious option because of their history. Speaking of the Anthony Joshua situation, Tommy Fury had a response to it, calling out Jake Paul, saying that you couldn't even beat me, which is very true, by the way. So why would you face Anthony Joshua? That is exactly what I'm saying, Tommy, but Jake Paul responded to it saying, Tommy fumbles Fury. The ship has sailed, mate. I'm trying to build the sport. You were trying to make a payday and hit the pub. No judgment, we are just different. Then Tommy Fury responds, no worries at all, mate. Hope that loss doesn't eat you up too much. Just know that you never had enough balls to try to avenge your loss. You're right, we are different. I'm a winner, and you are a loser. Damn. Hey, that's what I've been saying. I don't know why Tommy was so bad with the Darren Till situation, because I think he's actually good at selling fights and he has good trash talk. But he made himself look so bad with that Darren Till situation. He's gonna kick me. Like, are you joking, bro? But sorry, I get sidetracked because I just feel like Tommy Fury has potential in the sport and he just doesn't take advantage of it. So it's just annoying. Then Jake Paul says, I'm offering Tommy Fury $3 million to fight me in 2025. The number is $4 million if he can legally get into the US. Let's see who is ducking who. Interesting. Then Tommy Fury responded, why would I agree to that when it's less than our first fight and I beat you? You're deluded. You claim to be a good businessman. If you want to talk business properly, I'm there. But don't throw me stupid offers you know won't get accepted. It's clear to see that you're just using the money as an excuse to get away from this rematch. You brag about making $50 million for your fights, but yet won't pay up for the only real fight you have left. Showing your true colors, my friend. Keep running scared. I'll see you very soon. Duck, 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 Paul. Now, Tommy, he got $50 million for fighting Mike Tyson. The fight shouldn't have happened, but you're not Mike Tyson. I don't know if I have to explain that to you. But you're not Mike Tyson, bro. You getting less than the last fight, yes, I guess that means something. But who else is paying you that money besides the Misfits to face KSI or Darren Till? And it's probably around the same number as 3 to 4 million. You are not worth, what is that, 8 figures? No, dude. You are not. So this shit is just, it's just wild. If anybody's ducking in the situation, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of Tommy. Because he kind of, like, showed that he did get an offer for 3-4 million to fight Jake Paul, and he's just not taking it because he wants, like, 10. I'm guessing he's saying he wants, like, 10 million to face Jake Paul, maybe, like, $7 to $8 million. What the fuck? Like, you wouldn't even face Darren Till. Your name is not at a high point right now, Tommy. You had a documentary made about you by your wife, which I don't know if you guys are back together. I seen something about that. I hope that situation is fine. I'm not trying to get family into this, but I don't understand why you're holding your number that high. If you're going to get $3 to $4 million to fight Jake Paul when you have an experience advantage over him, still, the only advantage that you don't have against Jake Paul is the activity. And that's on you, because you didn't want to get head kicked by Darren Till. Come on, Tommy. This is the fight that should be happening, and I think this is a very dumb reason for it not to happen. I know he's from the Fury family, and they negotiate like that, but come on now. So I do want to see this fight still, because I still think Tommy Fury is a level where Jake will get tested. And the first fight wasn't close. I know a lot of Jake Paul fans try to make it seem like it was close just because the knockdown at the end of the fight somehow made the fight a split decision, but that fight was not close whatsoever. So it's a great testing point for Jake Paul. Tommy can build the fight. They have real beef. And there really isn't something that's that exciting besides the KSI fight for Jake Paul, besides him getting knocked out by a pro boxer, I guess, is his other selling point right now. But I don't know, man. I don't understand why this fight isn't happening, and I don't understand why Tommy's being difficult about it. I think it's perfect. I think Tommy is a perfect test opponent, but there is one other name that could be interesting that will be an extreme test for Jake Paul, but he seems like he doesn't want it. I know you guys are saying, oh, he's just going to say KSI. He's just saying the most basic things. But I don't think that KSI is the next by any means, because I think KSI needs a warm-up fight, and obviously he had the whole situation with Dylan Dennis, and Dylan Dennis wasn't even going to get him ready for Jake Paul, so he's probably going to need to fight 2 fights. So it seems like the Jake Paul fight, if it's going to happen, is going to happen in 2026, unfortunately. But who am I thinking of to solve this issue? Vidal Riley. Now, Last time I checked, Vidal Riley and Tommy Fury are very close to each other on the rankings. Now, Jake Paul has mentioned this fight in the past, and he said he's not interested because Vidal Riley isn't a big enough name. I think that's complete bullshit. He is huge in the UK, and he has a big following in general. The Real and Will's channel is doing very well, and obviously they know him because of KSI. He trained KSI for a very long time, and it's not only because of that. Vidal Riley is currently a British champion. He has already won the vacant belt and defended it. So Jake Paul is talking about all of these titles and all of this prestige that he wants in boxing. If he goes in there and beats a British champion with a name, it will mean a ton. And it would send a message to KSI too, for sure, because Vidal Riley literally taught KSI how to get started with boxing. That would be huge psychological advantage on the side of Jake Paul for the KSI fight if that were to happen. At this point, we really don't know with how much issues in the way. If Jake Paul truly doesn't think that Vidal Riley isn't a good idea, he has to be intimidated by the matchup. And he will never accept that, but that is probably the reality because Vidal Riley is better than Tommy Fury. Vidal Riley could potentially be a world champion. So if you keep the same energy, like if you want to face Anthony fucking Joshua, just face Vidal Riley. If you want to test yourself with somebody with a name, because he does, I don't give a fuck what you say, Jake. He has a name and he's legit. He's better than Tommy Fury. He will get hurt potentially. And I think that is why he doesn't want it. And I fully don't dislike Jake Paul, but some things I really don't agree with, and I'm just trying to be transparent with the whole situation. I'll give him credit. I liked when he was facing the pro boxers, even though they were tomato cans. I feel like that was a great phase of his career. Then he ruined it with the Mike Tyson fight. Then he's back to square one in the people's minds about him not being a real boxer. Now, him facing Vidal Riley and beating him, that would change things a lot. Him losing to Vidal Riley, yeah, of course. That wouldn't be ideal, but if you want a real boxer with all these things, if you want to shut people up, Jake, Vidal Riley is the fight for you. And I don't want to seem like I'm being hateful versus Jake Paul and saying that I just want him to get knocked out by Vidal Riley. I think it's a good fight to make. If he wants to test himself, it's a great fight to make. But if he wants to cherry pick things, which it doesn't sound like if he wants to fight Canelo and Anthony Joshua, why don't you just face Vidal? Will it potentially ruin the Canelo and Anthony Joshua fight or Tank Davis fight? Yeah. But will it make the fights with Canelo and all of that better if you beat Vidal Riley? Fuck yes. It would mean a ton. I don't know if he would technically get the British Championship because I don't really know how that works. I don't know if you have to be in Britain to have it. It doesn't even need to be on the line. If he beats Vidal, that'll be a big deal. But that will be no easy task because Vidal Riley is very dangerous. He has serious power in his hands and he has amazing shot selection. He is very accurate, and Jake Paul, when he wings his hooks and all of that, like he did in the Tommy Fury fight, that's why he got caught so easily by the straight punches. Vidal Riley will do the exact same, and he will work the body more than Tommy Fury did. So he will potentially set up more shots upstairs instead of just headhunting, because Tommy Fury really just used his jab and straights the entire fight, and he threw some occasional hooks, but Vidal Riley would set up shots to a different level than Tommy Fury did. So that would be the main danger of it, and he's probably more powerful than Tommy Fury. So he could probably hurt Jake, but Jake has a very good chin, so there's a chance he doesn't, but I don't know. So those are my ideas for what could be next for Jake Paul. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments down below. If there's any names I forgot about, please let me know. Usually I do 3 of these, so I'll leave the 3rd one up to you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment. Like, all of that still matters because I'm a small channel still trying to grow. I also appreciate that you're still watching at this point in the video. It's great for retention. If you guys want to follow any of my socials, it's in the description. If you want to see any more of my videos, that is also in the description, or you can just click my channel, obviously. But thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you, and peace out.